I want to talk about the word hypocrite. In the Bible, as far as I know, there was only one use of hypocrite, and that was Jesus speaking to the people outside the church. They were uh, people that were um, Pharisees or uh, but weren't among the followers of Christ. And but we've allowed the word hypocrite to be used against the church, um, and it wasn't intended for that. Uh, so there's um, teaching that hypocrite means an actor. Um, I find that in Strong's and Vine's uh, that uh, it meant acting, and there's um, no support for that when you uh, inspect the foundation of the word according to how you inspect the foundation of other words. So hypocrite is two syllables. The first is the prefix of hypo, and hypo everywhere else, as in hypodermic or hypothermia, it all means less than, below, or under. And crit, used in critique or criticism, is examine. So when Jesus called them hypocrites, he was telling them that they're not examining themselves enough. And there's other sections of the word that teaches us that um, self-examination is the most important. We're to pick the log out of our own eye before we pick the speck out of other people's eyes. So um, doing critique is not condemned by that scripture about pulling the log out of our own eye. It's just training us to do critique first and most on ourselves, and then we may be able to help someone else with the speck in their own eye. And so we need to use hypocrite as somebody who's not examining themselves enough. Um, um, a hypocrite uh, would be best described a uh, as a laborer who begins the house, and first the house is built on a foundation, and then the concrete base is pulled, and it is poured. The concrete base is poured, and if the construction worker does a good job in pouring the foundation of the house, everyone who comes behind him to do work on the house, their job is made much easier. But if the first person was a hypocrite and wasn't watching his own behavior well, the foundation won't be level, and it will have flat places and high places, and the more flat or sub level um, areas, and the more areas that are above the proper level, it causes the follow-up workers to have much more trouble, and and all the way through the rest of the construction. And so we need to take a look at our own selves and make sure people that are coming along behind us or beside us can count on our thinking and our behavior to cause us less problems. And it's one of the reasons the Apostle Paul said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." He wanted people to go to the foundation instead of follow him. And so, hypocrite is someone who doesn't examine his own behavior um, often enough and is weaving down the road. If you're following him in a car, he's not correcting his own behavior often enough, and he's weaving, and it makes everyone around him uncomfortable. Hypocrites make everyone around them uncomfortable because they can't count on them walking a straight line. And walking a straight line is what the Bible requires of us. It tells us that when we are making a row, we don't look back, because we got to keep our eye on Christ and make a straight line for our own selves.